Hello everyone, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and I love to come live to show you what I've been working on in my craft room. So, it's just been almost 2 weeks that the 2024-2025 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog has been live. So, I've been playing with some of those brand new products and wanted to share something fun with you, something that you might have overlooked in the new catalog. So I want to show you some card samples, and just have some stamping fun this morning. Thanks, Dawn, for joining me. Thanks, everyone who's going to pop on or watch the replay. I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, give me a shout. Hey, Jeanne, good to see you. I hope it's a good morning wherever you are. Hot in Oregon, hot in Arizona too. Just kind of one of those things. Darn it. Yeah, because it's only May. All right, let me pop you down to my workspace and I'll show you what I have going on here. I hope you've seen the Stampin' Up! New catalog. If you aren't currently working with the demonstrator and you need one, give me a shout. I'll get one in the mail to you. Loving it because not only is it full of brand new and returning paper crafting products like stamp sets and coordinating dies and inks and ribbons, all that really good stuff. It's also a great resource. There are a lot of tips, tricks, and crafting advice for every level of crafter. Let's see, let me just go. We have a kits page, paper pumpkin page, quick and easy page, pages 16 and 17. If you're a brand new stamper, give you the top 10 crafting essentials, things that you'll need to get started. But one of my favorite pieces is here on page 22, the bottom of page 22. There are 22 sketch inspirations. So Stampin' Up! Has pulled out some easy sketches. They just show you some paper samples, and then you can use the paper that you have in your possession along with your stamps and your embellishments to create a card based on those sketch layouts. And sometimes if you're missing your mojo or you need some inspiration, these are really a really good option to turn to. Hey, Kathy, hope all is well in Northeast Ohio. Appreciate the share. So what I did is I used the sketch, one of the sketches, to complete a bunch of cards using some brand new designer series paper. So I'm using this sketch right here. So let me show you some of the samples, and then I will make one for you so you can see the dimensions. Remember, all of this information will be on my blog at KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I made these cards in conjunction with this stamp set, Simply Said. Now, it's in the beginning of the catalog, and I chose it because it includes all of those sentiments I normally send. We have your couple of birthdays, a thank you, a hello, just a note. Let's celebrate. So it covers everything I absolutely need, and you just need a tag for that. I also have a bunch of brand new designer series paper. So the first card I'm going to show you is one side of the Mediterranean Blooms designer series paper. I'm a blues girl. I just love these midnight, night of navy and the balmy blue, and just love all of those. So you can see there's the hello sentiment from that Simply Said stamp set. And I'm using a die from the Spotlight on Nature dies. Hey, Peg, thanks for joining. Sorry if I missed you coming in. And then I have a little bit of white baker's twine as well. And then I used some of the designer series paper to decorate the inside. Hey, Wanda, thanks for joining. Now, On the other side of the Mediterranean blooms are the Mediterranean blooms. We have some oranges and some lemons, really reminiscent of Italy, just really gorgeous. Again, I've used that birthday sentiment from the Simply Said. It's very versatile, does whatever I needed to do. You'll see that sketch that I used with the 3 pieces of designer series paper, a sentiment, and then this is the ribbon. It's a package of pink and white striped ribbon. The next sample is from the Full of Life designer series paper. Now this paper is super fun. If you're looking for something really bright and cheery, this is it. And there's lots and lots of different designs. Again, the Let's Celebrate, that is from my Simply Said stamp set. This label, however, is from the Delicate Forest dies. And so that works really well for any of our Let's Celebrate and our Happy Birthday. Again, I used, when you cut this, you also have some little designer series paper pieces left over there. So that's one of the Full of Life. Then there's another from the Full of Life. So you can just choose any of the designs from the designer series paper and create. What I like is quick and easy. I send a ton of cards. And so sometimes I just need some quick and easy cards. And I also, Stampin' Up is so awesome at offering us coordinating products so the gems always match. So I try to look for those matching gems. Hey Trudy, hey Judy, thanks for joining. This is also, believe it or not, the Full of Life designer series paper. Again, just the same sketch, but you can see how the different papers just give it all a different look. I'm going to make one here for you shortly so you can get the dimensions, and those will be on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com. This one is the Wildly Flowering designer series paper. Misty Moonlight, the sentiment from Simply Said, and the die cut is from the Spotlight on Nature. Now this is that white ribbon that I used on this card here, but I took some of the Stampin' Blends and colored that ribbon so I would have some coordinating ribbon with that. Hey Ruth, thank you. Yes, I love the simplicity. You can make a whole bunch and people will just absolutely love them. So my last sample, I went crazy. I finally just said, Kim, you have to stop. You have to move on. So this is the Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. The Thinking of You sentiment. Hey Lori, thanks for popping in. The die cut is from the Delicate Forest. I love how those work well. And then the Petunia Pop 3/8 inch bordered ribbon. So now this, I think this paper is going to be a favorite. Hey Beth, thanks for popping in. This is the Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. It does come in 6x6. So let me just show you some of the designs. Always hard to choose which side to use. It's just gorgeous. This is I just love, and of course, I love purples. So you'll be able to see more from me coming up. Hey Brenda, thanks for joining. I love to show these papers, and the whole front of the card can just be, you could just put a sentiment on it. Ah, hi from Minnesota. Good to see you. I'm headed to Minnesota this weekend, actually, over to Detroit Lakes to see some family. So I hope the weather is not too bad. It'll be a little cooler here than in Arizona. So here are I'm just showing you all the pieces of this Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. This one kind of reminds me of an Arizona desert. So I hope you love that. All right, well, let's show you then how I actually created that. I need to choose a design. I could probably go with the one I used. This is what we're going to be working on. Petunia Pop. I want to call it Poppin' Petunia. So we'll use this sheet right here. And all right. So I am going to need my trimmer. Got my Stampin' trimmer out. I am starting with a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock, 8.5 by 11. And to create my card base, which is Petunia Pop, I'm just going to cut that piece in half on the 11-inch line at 5.5. I love that the trimmer gives you the cutting and the scoring. And then I'm going to score that at 4.25. Just get the scoring out of the way. Again, my measurements are on the blog, kimplayswithpaper.com. So then I have this piece left over. I'm going to cut one at 5.25 by 4, and then I'll have some left over that I can use. So this is what I'll be layering my designer series paper on. Now, the strips that I need measure 5 inches by 1 1/8. So this is a big sheet of paper. It's 6 by 6. So I have to figure out where I'm going to trim from to make it 5 by 1 1/8. So first of all, I think I'm going to just snip some off the top. I'm just going to there, and then measure it at 5, and then I'll take the rest off of the bottom, and then I can use those pieces for other things like the inside of the card. Right, and then I think just from my right hand side, I'm just going to measure 1 1/8. And so sometimes it's really hard to do the eighths, but it's a couple of, I always take a couple of ticks after the 1. So we'll need 3 strips each at 1 1/8. It's halfway between 1 and 1.5. And so there's my 3 strips that I have for my card. And I can put my trimmer away. And it does look better if you can keep those in some kind of order. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes it's like putting a puzzle piece together. All right, so I'll bring in my Petunia Pop that's 5.25 by 4 and just kind of layer these on. Remember, I did show you all those samples, so whatever designer series paper you have in your stash, and I know if you're like me, you have paper forever. So it's kind of fun to find different ways to use all of that. And I'm not going to stress too much. Hey, Alexina, thanks for joining, about where getting them on totally. But I am going to start with the one in the middle and use my Stampin' Seal Plus to just put some adhesive on and try to get that in the middle. Because once you get it on the card and you get the ribbon on and the sentiment, no one's going to say, oh my gosh, you're off a little bit. That's not quite right. Or at least you hope not, right? Okay. So then I'll just add the others to it. So, you know, if you're ever in need of some inspiration, turn to page 22 of Stampin' Up's annual catalog and look at those sketches and find one that speaks to you, one that you, hey, I know something that might work with that. Hey, Sue, thanks for joining. And once you get going, it's just that I think, for me anyway, the inspiration just flows from there. It's just like, all right, I got it. I know what I can do. So I have that on there. That's that Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. It's already been very popular. All right, I'm going to give that a burnish. And the ribbon will go on the sentiment, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the card front. And at the end, I'll show you my samples again, just so you can see some of the different papers. I didn't use all of the papers. I was going to, and then I have class this week, so I thought I better move on and be prepared for that. So I have my little die cut from the Delicate Forest dies and my thinking of you sentiment, but actually I think I'm going to switch it out today. I need another thank you card. So I think I'll take that off and use that. And I have my Petunia Pop ink. You guys love the new ink colors. And I know that I'm going to put a ribbon on here. Hi, Colleen. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to move my sentiment over to the right just a little bit. Give it a little practice. I love it when the ink pads are fresh and new, but you can always get the re-inker. I always recommend getting the re-inker so you have that when you've used a color so much, like I have my Petunia Pop for sure. All right, let's close that up. All right, and then we're just going to pop it up with dimensionals. Put a few on the back. Hey, Fran, thanks for joining. Thanks, everyone, for popping in today. I hope you've had a chance to look at the catalog and see some of the really cool different teaching moments in there. There's a color wheel. There's information on color theory. Just so much. All right. And I need some Petunia Pop ribbon. Okay. It looks like I've used my used up my package, so let's open a new one. It's one of the things as demonstrators we could pre-order, and I went to Onstage so you could even pre-order more. So I am going to tie a bow, and I need about 9 inches for my bow. I know some of you, like if you use a bow maker, you can make it with less, but I'm one of those that needs a lot of ribbon. Yes, you're welcome. Maybe have you guys had you seen the inspiration on that page 22 with the card sketches? And as time goes on, if there's another sketch you want to see me use, just give me a shout. I'm always happy to make cards all the time. It's what I do. All right, we need a little bit of a glue dot to hook that on the back. Just going to put our little bow right here, trim it off. I have a paper cut on one of my fingers. That's a surprise, right? We work with paper. All right, and jewels. We need jewels. So the in color shimmer gems are awesome. So I've made a few with Petunia Pop, so they're right here. They are also popular. But we have 11 and a half more months to shop from this catalog. So there's lots of hidden gems in there. All right. And I do have my piece for the inside, and I should cut that at 4 so we can have a little design on the inside. No, let's not waste our designer series paper. I could use either one of those, but it's just kind of fun to put a little. And otherwise, those little scraps, they just go by the wayside. Hey, Maureen, thanks for joining. Thanks, everyone, for popping in. I appreciate it. Okay. And then we'll put that in the middle of the card, and we're ready to go. And so I can send this thank you note out. Everyone gets a thank you note for an order when they order from me, so it's always a handmade card. Okay, there we go. Hey, Sally, thanks for joining. So that is my card based on the sketches on page 22 of the annual catalog. Let me just show you, here's a reminder in case you popped in a little late. They're on the bottom of page 22. All these little sketches, I used that one right there. Those were 5 by 1 1/8 inch strips. So I'll just go by the one at a time quick as a reminder. This was the Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper. And remember, I used the Simply Said stamp set along with that. So Wildly Flowering, Mediterranean Blooms, and I just love this. The flip side of Mediterranean Blooms, which is that color, just totally different looks with same designer series paper. And then we have 3 with the Full of Life. And so you can see just all the papers just give you a different look. Let's Celebrate can be a birthday anniversary, just a graduation. And then there's the one I used for my inspiration today. So thank you everyone for joining me. I do appreciate you spending time with me this morning. If you have any questions, give me a shout. If you need measurements, look online at kimplayswithpaper.com. And any clarification, just give me a shout as well, and I can help you place any orders for any of this awesome paper or stamp sets. Thanks so much, everyone. Until next time, happy stamping. Bye-bye.